Dr. Lewis, in your experience, and this is something you and I have recently talked about, how do brain supplements support neurotransmitter function, and why is this important for optimal brain performance?
Excuse me, our neurotransmitters are so intimately linked into how the brain functions. And so it's been interesting over the last, it's a fairly new science in terms of the microbiome and what we're learning about the gut and the brain-gut axis and how that's all linked. And, you know, people referring to the gut as the second brain, which, I mean, we've known for years, you know, your gut instinct, right? Like we've known that saying, and there's a very good reason for that. You're actually functioning from a brain perspective, if you will, from your gut, because serotonin, dopamine, these different types of neurotransmitters are actually much more predominantly produced or made in the gut than they are even actually in the brain. So when you think about that link between the two, that is crucial. And we have this really rapidly and quickly evolving science related to this entire axis. And so one of the things that's very fascinating about the polysaccharides is that they actually function as a prebiotic. And so when those saccharides get broken down, they actually have a very profound impact on our gut. So anything that you can take that's in a prebiotic form, like the polysaccharides, things like kimchi, you know, I'm kind of getting off on nutrition here, but you know, those are things that actually help to influence our gut function. And of course, a probiotic, that would go without saying, that would do the same. Curcumin also has had a lot of very beneficial gut function effects that have been shown in different studies as well. So there are obviously several things that we can do to feed ourselves properly through that whole entire, you know, from the prebiotic process all the way to when our gut empties things out and it comes out the other end. But that is so important to actually having a healthy gut, which then relates to the neurotransmitter secretion and function, and all that stuff has a very significant role in how we function, not only from a cognitive perspective, but from a mental health perspective, and keeping us, you know, happy and keeping our mood stable and level and not too high and not too low, and, you know, combating things like depression and anxiety. I mean, again, mood disorder, that's another epidemic today. I mean, there's so many epidemics in our society today, you can't even keep track of them, but mood disorder is another big one. And so that's where nutrition can come in, help to modulate the secretion of these neurotransmitters, and help to give people a fighting chance, particularly with major depression, where, as I'm sure you know, the antidepressants, I mean, they're basically as effective as placebos. Right. I mean, the research on antidepressants are actually quite junky, if you ask me, in terms of their efficacy. So it's very important for us to be able to feed ourselves properly for the neurotransmitter secretion and all the aspects related to not just, again, cognitive function, but mental health.